Art is defined on the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary as something that is created with imagination and skill, and that is beautiful, or that expresses important ideas or feelings. The argument of video games as an art form can be traced back to the 1980s, and has since gained the attention of most serious and casual gamers. As video games continue to assert their place as a staple in the nation's mainstream media, the topic has become increasingly controversial. Roger Ebert, the late movie critic, claimed that video games have never been and will never be art. On the other hand, the Smithsonian American Art Museum took an open stance of approval concerning video games as an art form, holding an exhibition in 2012 entitled The Art of Video Games. Art tends to be a polarizing topic no matter the particular confines it is discussed within, and essentially, the heart of this particular problem boils down to one seemingly simple, yet incredibly complicated question. What is art? Well, for starters, let's put aside any personal definition and just look at that Merriam-Webster definition. Created with skill and imagination. Beautiful. Expresses important ideas or feelings. Based on this definition alone, it seems that video games are pretty clear-cut for the art status. One does not even need to focus on the so-called art games to notice a connection between gaming and this incredibly inclusive definition. As a matter of fact, simply looking at video games' most iconic series will satisfy each point of this definition. That series is, of course, Super Mario Bros. The original Super Mario Bros. Game for the Nintendo Entertainment System is a superb display of imagination and skill. The game introduced a series of interesting quirks, such as ingesting a flower to gain the ability to shoot fire. Our culture seems to have become accustomed to the unusual characteristics of the Mario universe, and we seem to forget how truly surreal it is. The world created for Super Mario Bros. Is unlike any other, a solid testament to the artistic and creative talent of the game's creator, Shigeru Miyamoto. The game, aside from its imaginative qualities, was an incredible feat in game design and programming. Super Mario Bros. Popularized a style of gaming known as the side-scroller, which involves the character fluidly moving across several screens to reach a goal. Before Super Mario Bros., side-scrollers were few and far between, with arguably none reaching mainstream success. After Super Mario Bros., however, side-scrollers became the most popular style of gaming for several years, and their legacy is still felt today within modern gaming. This is in no way different to, say, a particular style of painting gaining prevalence after the successes of master artists. It takes an incredible amount of skill to revolutionize an industry, and Super Mario Bros. Did it with a simple elegance that closely resembles an artistic masterpiece of its era. Super Mario World was the fourth installment released in the Mario franchise, and the first on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. This game built upon the revolutionary gameplay mechanics of the original Super Mario Bros. Game, while adding artistic elements of its own. Most apparent is the aesthetic of the game, which for the first time in the series achieves the iconic cartoonish look associated with gaming's most famous icon. Akin to its title, the game expresses the important ideas of adventure and exploration. Super Mario RPG is a unique entry in the Mario franchise, as it ditches the familiar platforming genre in favor of a role-playing game. Role-playing games, or RPGs for short, are well known for their storytelling elements. Films and novels, two widely recognized forms of art, are mediums by which a story is told. Video games, as shown by the countless great RPGs, have the same capacity to tell important and memorable stories. Once again, the Mario franchise represented the epitome of imagination and skill within the gaming industry with Super Mario 64. Simply put, Super Mario 64 was the first 3D game to get it right, proving that 3D was the way of the future in video gaming. Aside from this programming feat, the game features a plethora of unique environments which showcase the creative talent of the game's designers. Super Mario Sunshine was a unique game in the Mario franchise, but nevertheless, an artistic experience unlike any other Mario game. Playing Super Mario Sunshine is truly an immersive experience, as the music and visuals combine to create an incredibly tranquil atmosphere. For the first time in the franchise, the hardware at hand was powerful enough to create beautiful visuals characterized by their color and detail. Super Mario Galaxy is the king of them all, nailing every point of the dictionary definition of art. This game is frankly out of this world. The imagination required to create a game with so many original mechanics and environments is equal to what is required to make a masterpiece in any other medium. The visuals of the game, along with the music and outer space atmosphere, is simply breathtaking. Super Mario Galaxy evokes a feeling of wonder and adventure within the gamer unlike any other game, rather, any other work of art imaginable. Deeming a masterwork such as this game as merely a means of entertainment is an insult to the amount of imagination and talent required to craft such an experience. Video games are easily seen to be a compilation of many styles of art, such as music and intense visuals, but do they stand on their own as works of art? Considering only the dictionary definition of art, they clearly do. So why is it that this debate rolls on, with adamant opponents eager to separate games from art? Critics of video games argue that they are not high art. High art is distinguishable from, well, regular art, in that it has that extra something. High art deals with dignified subjects, and is deemed by a community to be timeless, in a sense. Mediums such as films were also once excluded from the category of high art, but as the medium evolved, its equal status among the other forms of great art became undeniable. Critics began to feel the irresistible charm of the medium, with its images that resonate across generations and its stories that never lose their appeal. Video game critics argue that the particular medium of gaming does not have the capacity to connect to its audience in the same manner as other forms of high art. To this, I respectfully disagree. Those who criticize games for lacking an artistic appeal, for the most part, have simply never found a personal connection to a particular game. That doesn't mean, however, that others have not. Certainly, countless individuals can list games that have a special meaning to them, aside from nostalgic connections. Gamers arguing in favor of games as an art form recount their unique experience of playing through a game and appreciating the work for what it is. For me, the game I most closely relate to in this sense is Earthbound, an incredibly unusual game that mixes elements of satire, drama, and quirky dialogue. Whether one associates with the deep narrative of a game like Fallout, the rich environments of a game like Skyrim, or the lighthearted and imaginative adventure of a game like The Legend of Zelda, these connections exist between the work of art and the audience that enjoys it. At the end of the day, video gaming is about what it's always been about: choices. A unique form of art it is, that the player can personally interact with the work and shape it to most closely fit their style. Choices dictate the path of the gamer, and choices also dictate the path of the critic. If critics decide to open their mind to the possibilities and potential of video games as a medium, then video games will certainly join films and other such mediums among the high arts.